Hello everybody, my name is Leo, and with this video, as you requested, we will share a direct comparison between the Valeton GP 200 and the Line 6 PodGo. First of all, we will hear the units in action with the demo song, then we will compare the features and technical characteristics of the two units with a very detailed comparison chart, then we will hear more sounds also comparing the two units versus real tube amps, checking out the frequency response, the dynamic range management, the note envelope and the effects. And finally, I will give you my 2 cents. So, I hope you enjoy, and please don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell, as it would really help me to make more videos like this. Let's start with the demo song. We'll now compare the two units among the following parameters: number of amps, cabs and mics built-in, third-party IRs availability, number of effects and effect chain management in general, MIDI availability, inputs and outputs available in both the units, foot switches and expression pedals, screen size and type, computer app availability, looper and drum machine, ADA conversion and USB channels, current, power, dimensions, weight and price. First of all, in the GP200 we have 71 amps, 70 cabs, and it is not possible to choose the mic or the position of the mic in the cab. On the other hand, in the PodGo we have 83 amps, 39 cabs and 16 mics, where you can change the distance of the mic but not the position. I would give the thumbs up to the PodGo as it offers more amps and cabs and mics simulations. Let me just say that for both the unit the mic simulation is pretty poor, where the mic type and positioning has really a big impact on the tone. As regards third-party IRs, we have 20 user slots in the GP200 and 128 in the PodGo. Therefore, thumbs up to the PodGo, which offers more slots. Let's now talk about effects and effects chain management. The GP200 offers more than 100 effects arranged in 11 blocks, amp and cab included, that you can put in whatever order you want, with no possibility to have parallel effects. The external effect block is placed after the amp block. In the PodGo we have more than 190 effects arranged in 10 blocks, amp and cab included, and with one block dedicated to the send and return of the external effects. And furthermore, we can use 4 blocks of the PodGo to assign whatever effect we want, but the order is fixed. Furthermore, the PodGo offers the snapshot function to be used to change presets seamlessly, that is not available in the Valeton. Both the unit manage the trails of the time effects. Therefore, I would say that they are on par, as the Valeton offers more effects blocks and a more flexible signal chain, but with no snapshots. And the PodGo, on the other hand, offers more effects and a snapshot functionality, so it really depends on your needs. The GP200 offers MIDI connectivity, where in the PodGo you need to use MIDI over USB, as it lacks physical MIDI connections. As regards inputs and outputs, the Valeton has a guitar input, a mono effect loop, balanced XLR stereo output and unbalanced outputs, an headphone out and an aux in. In the PodGo we have a guitar input, a stereo effect loop via TRS jacks, balanced TRS outputs, an amp out and an headphone out. Here I will give the thumbs up to both the units, as they are among the modelers with the most complete arrays of I/O in this price range. As regards foot switches, they both have 8 foot switches, an expression pedal and an input for another one. The screen is basically identical. Furthermore, they both have a computer app to manage your presets and create the signal chains you want. The Valeton offers longer looper and a drum machine, which is missing in the PodGo. As regards ADA conversion, the Valeton offers a 2x2 USB channels audio interface at 44.1 kHz and 24 bits converters. And the PodGo offers a 4x4 audio interface with up to 96 kHz at 24 bits converters. Therefore, thumbs up to the PodGo. As regards the power needs, I would give the thumbs up to the Valeton, which is less power hungry. As regards dimensions and weight, the Valeton is a little bit smaller but heavier, even because it has a full metal chassis. Therefore, I would give a thumbs up to the Valeton, being a little bit smaller and feeling sturdier, even if it weighed a tiny bit more. And finally, as regards the price, the GP200 is cheaper in dollars. So finally, let's count the greens and red thumbs. We have suspense, 10 greens with 3 reds for the GP200 and 8 greens and 5 reds for the PodGo. Obviously, this is just a technical comparison without considering that each feature could have a different importance for you. And so, for instance, you may prefer the PodGo for the 4x4 audio interface or the Valeton for the more flexible signal chain. But if you just algebraically sum the reds and greens, the GP200 seems to be a little bit better. Let's now hear some more sounds. We will now compare the modelers versus 2 real valve amps, a jumpered Plexi that is connected to a greenback speaker and with everything to none but the volume that is at 8 for both the channels, and a Fender DLX reverb connected to a Jensen speaker with everything to none. In the modeler I have loaded their simulations of the real amps with the IR I have made of the speakers I'm using in both the real amps. We will be testing the frequency response, the dynamic range management and the note envelope of the real deal versus the modelers, playing few licks with the guitar. I have already recorded the DI tracks of the licks in my digital audio workstation, so we are sure that we are gonna send the same exact lick to the modelers and the real amp, without introducing little human errors derived from the fact that it is impossible to play the same lick many times without little variations. These are the 5 licks I will be using. I will use the first to match the frequency response. I mean, we will hear the amps and the modelers with the same settings, and then I will tweak the modelers to sound as close as possible to the real deal. Then with the second lick we will hear the bass frequency. Then with the third lick we will test the dynamic response of the modelers. I mean the way the modelers cleans up and breaks up according to the volume of your guitar, or how soft or hard you push the strings. And with the fourth and fifth lick we will check out the note envelope management. Then we will test also 3 effects for each modeler: a chorus, actually a CE1 chorus, a ping pong delay, and finally a plate reverb. I've tried to match the types of effects and settings for each modeler, even if it is almost impossible, as each modeler has his own parameters even for the same effect. Therefore, it is, as I was saying, impossible to make a scientific comparison. But at least I hope you will be able to hear, how to say, the character of each modeler, so that you can decide yourself which one you prefer. I will let you now hear the test, and I will not say anything, so that you can make up your own idea without being influenced by mine. And we will discuss the results later on in my 2 cents section of this video. Let's start. Final considerations here, and please notice that these are gonna be my personal opinions and you may not agree with me, and this is totally fine. Let me share the stronger selling points in my opinion of each unit according to each use case. Home recording. Well, here I think that the PodGo has two advantages. The 4 USB channels instead of the 2 of the Valeton, and the possibility to reach 48 kHz, that is the frequency that I typically use when I record. Live use. Here both units are pretty good, with 8-foot switches, but the Valeton provides you also with MIDI input to expand even more the control you may want to have in live situation, and on the other hand the PodGo offers the snapshot functionality in order to switch preset seamlessly. So they are, I would say, on par according to what is your use case. Easiness of use. They are both pretty easy to be used, but I find that the row of switches that provide us with direct access to the effects and the rotary knobs to control the amp give a slight advantage to the Valeton in terms of easiness of use. Amp and effects sound. If you hear at the demo song, I think that it's pretty difficult to tell which is which. Then, in the more sound section of the video, we have heard an in-depth tone comparison. As regards overdriven tones, both the Plexi simulations were pretty good. I would say that the Valeton was the one that needed less tweaking, just having to increase a tiny bit the treble. Also, the PodGo was pretty good, even if it required more tweaking. As regards the clean Fender DLX reverb, both the GP200 and the PodGo required just to decrease the high frequency. Please let me know your opinions and findings in the comment section below. I'm really curious to know what you think about the tone differences of these two units, but I think that with both of them you can get pretty good tones. As regards effect, well, I would say that it is just a matter of taste. I would say that I prefer a tiny bit more the PodGo for the delays, as they are a tiny bit less intrusive in the repetitions, where in the Valeton I had to decrease a lot the mix level in order to have a delay that I really like. On the other hand, as regards effects management, I would say that they are pretty similar. The Valeton offers one more block with 11 blocks instead of the 10 of the PodGo, but the PodGo has the snapshot function to switch presets without gap. Therefore, I think that they are more or less the same, and it really depends on what you find more valuable. So all in all, I think that here we have two pretty nice options that are almost equivalent, with some plus for the Valeton as the MIDI input and some for the PodGo as the snapshot functionality or the 4 USB channels. And obviously the biggest advantage of the Valeton is actually the price. So at the end, unless you absolutely need the 4 USB channels, you can go with the cheapest options and save some money. This is obviously my point of view, and I would really like to know your opinions and which one of the two units you would choose in your use case. And also if the sound differences that you can check out in the demo song or in the more sound section of this video are a key deciding factor for you. So please let me know in the comments below your very valuable opinions. These were my final 2 cents. We have now reached the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did it, please subscribe to my channel, ring the notification bell and leave a thumbs up. It would be of a great help. If you're interested in my IRs, you can check out the link in the card above or description below, where there is also a link to a playlist of songs of mine. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video. Bye bye.